Hello, this is FlightTV, the only TV show about Russian general aviation. I'm Ignat Solovey, the cameraman and presenter. On summer, we talked to Russian pilots, what meetings they attended and where they could not fly. Many regretted the lack of interesting roads. No doubt, airfields of southern European Russia are decent fun, but many had already been there, as well as they had visited airfields in Bashkiria, Caucasus and everywhere around Moscow. Yet, for quite a long time there were no massive group flights in Russia, and people from the westernmost part of the country decided to fill that gap, gathering 100 aircraft on summer 2019. Our next feature explains where and why 100 aircraft should assemble, and why European and not only European pilots should visit it.
Private pilots from Kaliningrad region, which until 1945 was German East Prussia, used their geographical location and sometimes received foreign guests. That became easier after the requirement of mandatory guide plane or Russian navigator for foreign private pilots was lifted in 2017. Now the region is even more attractive for foreign pilots. In 2019 there will also be a fine cause. Next year there will be a centenary of the WOW airfield that is located in our region. People from German flight clubs are talking to us about organizing a meetup to celebrate the day next year. We offered to organize a 100 aircraft event to commemorate the WOW anniversary. The WOW was a hub of Der Luft, a German-Soviet joint commercial airline established even before Lufthansa and Aeroflot. It was a destination of the first Soviet international air link between Moscow and German Königsberg. German and Soviet crews alternated in flying and servicing Fokkers F-3 that carried passengers and mail. After the World War II, the WOW was the airport of Soviet Kaliningrad until 1977. In 1986, it became a DOSAAF airfield. In 2017, the organized group of German aviators visited Waldau. Landing first at Khabrovo, Kaliningrad's international airport, they passed border and customs control and then made a tour around Kaliningrad region. German flying tourists liked everything, and Russians got an experience in organizing an international aviation meetup. In 2017, our airfield for the first time since 1946 received a group of German tourists on 13 airplanes. Before that, we had very complicated negotiations with authorities. The preparation of that visit took 7 months with support from AOPA Russia and the government of Kaliningrad region. In November 2018, the region governor met the action group of Kaliningrad aviators, who will host German guests, and promised them to create work groups on subject with various authorities and his full support. The celebration of the WOW centenary will happen on 17th and 18th of August 2019. About 100 aircraft are expected from Germany, including very rare Junkers U-52 and Polikarpov Po-2. In addition, there should be guests from Poland and Lithuania. To avoid congestion at Khabrovo, the arrivals will be scheduled in 2-3 days advance, and pilots will then spread around all active airfields in the region. We negotiate this event both with German part and with regional government. This event is special because historical airplanes like U-52 are expected. We organize this event cooperatively, not only the WOW and Waldau, but other local flight clubs too. Kaliningrad aviators will welcome everyone willing to join, from Russia or from any foreign country. The plans include organized group flights around the region and solo and group public performances. Evenings will be reserved for cultural events and informal friendly meetings on all airfields of Kaliningrad region. If you're interested in participation, please contact the organizer by email or phone you see on your screen. You will need a Russian visa, but the organizers will provide any support they can.
In the 16th issue, we told about TR-301TV, a turboprop monoplane based on Antonov An-2. Now we present you the real impressions of pilots who bought one of those planes for skydivers.
Popovka is a fourth private airfield near Omsk, a million-inhabitant city in western Siberia. The airfield exists only for 1 year and there is much work to do. The control tower and lounge are still under construction, but powerful potbelly stoves keep the interior of a spacious military surplus tent warm. Some aviators already chose the field as a home for their planes. 3 aeropracts, Elitar Sigma, Cessna 182, Cessna 210, and TR-301TV, purchased specially to cater to parachute jumpers. The majority of skydivers here grew up with Antonov An-2, old boys and youngsters alike. They know and love that plane. When we first brought the TR-301TV here, they were very happy, since now they can jump from 4,000 meters from the same plane that was earlier capable only of 2,000 meters. It is a pure joy for them. When we chose our next destination for filming the TR-301TV, we asked the manufacturer to share the information on the sold planes, and when we saw the pictures of this plane, we immediately decided to fly to Omsk. Alexander's goal is to turn Popovka into a top-grade airfield, so he decided to decorate his new plane accordingly and send his livery design to the factory. The livery is of our own design, and the factory kindly agreed to paint it. I understood that it was a tough job, but the plane looks daring and defiant, so everyone takes pictures and selfies with it. We already covered the specification in our 15th English issue. The key difference for skydivers is that the new plane is 1 ton lighter and can lift 1500 kilograms of useful load to 5 kilometers at 3 to 4 meters per second climb rate. These are different planes. It is impossible to tell if one is better than the other, since they are designed for different conditions and scenarios. An-2 is a quintessential STOL that can take off from 500 feet runway with flaps at 30, with 5.5 tons of maximum takeoff weight. TR-301TV won't pull a trick like that. It is shaped for different jobs. It really became 1000 kilos lighter. At 1000 to 1500 meter altitude, when An-2's climb rate is low, the TR has the real rate of 2.5 meters per second. It can really go up to 4 to 5000 meters. We can really climb faster and more economically than on An-2. It's a different plane, no doubt. I flew it myself and on my own. Both Alexander Anisimov and Alexander Andreev anonymously said that TR-301TV has no rivals in this category. It is much cheaper than other turboprops or piston engine turbos, not only than larger Antonov 28 or Aero L410, but also than smaller Cessna 206 or Grand Caravan. Even TVS-2MS, the rival in An-2 redevelopment from Novosibirsk, while being superior in flight specification, will be much less cost-effective as a skydiver's plane. We consider the 301 the plane for parachute jumpers. It is perfect in this context. Of course, the Sibnia TVS-2MS has longer range and better climb rate, but the price matters too. If you put both on the scales, the TR-301TV has more pros. 1 meter per second difference in climb rate matters, but the price matters more. The TR-301TV sale price depends on the engine condition. The plane with Czech M601 engine restored at Techno-Region facility is guaranteed for $500, costs about 200,000 euros. The plane equipped with the M601 reconditioned in the USA with ceramic coating of turbine blades goes for about 270,000 euros. A plane with a new M601 directly from the factory in Prague will set you back about €500,000. If there is an issue of prolonged service time, Techno-Region has some loaner M601s in stock. I can say that the plane manufacturer has nice engine R&D and service bureau. They have all the requisite inspection and engine balancing equipment. TR-301TV runs on jet kerosene. That is important in regard of both outside temperatures and expenses. The An-2 users know their economics, particularly those who don't dare to use car gas for flights with whatever passengers. While the plane is different, the piloting in general is the same. The TR takes off and lands as good as An-2. You can descend immediately on confirmed parachutes development. We aren't scared of overcooling the engine because it is a gas turbine. The engine has a doubtless benefit of no heating required. The piston Asha-62 requires preheating at lower than +5 centigrade temperature, and M601 can be started even at -60 centigrade, literally at will. TR-301TV consumes 1 liter of jet kerosene per 1 kilometer, and An-2 the same, but of avgas or B91. TR-301TV is not picky about runways. All it needs is a standard ground strip, 400 to 600 meters long. For a snowy winter, it can be fitted with ski gear. Today we flew with a 1300 kilograms load, 200 kilos lighter than the maximum, and takeoff run was about 250 meters at 3 meters per second crosswind. The landing run could be even less, just 100 meters is fine. You can do side slip and descent even at 12 meters per second safely, even more, but we take care of our plane. It can descend from 3000 meters in 3 minutes. Another difference from An-2 is the engine response. The turboprop has a response rate of 5 to 6 seconds, contrary to piston ASHA-62's 2 to 3 seconds. The minimum thrust is 60% and it has literally no idle mode. Without the An-2's lower wing, it glides better thanks to lower airfoil drag, so An-2 pilots need some additional training. As a seasoned An-2 pilot with more than 500 hours on that type, I'll tell you that An-2 style landing won't work here. When you set An-2 to idling, you get gliding rate of 8 and brake immediately. Here, you have to exercise flat approach, but pull right to the runway with engine and switch to idling shortly before reaching landing signs. Any An-2 pilot needs to perform just several landings with an instructor to get it. There is nothing special. The TR-301TV manufacturing started in 2017. As of late 2018, several planes were sold to Russian customers and one to Venezuela. Service requirements are easy enough. You can find spare parts for An-2 and M601 engine literally anywhere in the world. The manufacturer's contacts are on your screen. If you wish to have a closer look and test the plane in flight, you can arrange your visit to Russia or to Venezuela.
Our viewers know that we frequent Samara, a city on Volga River. This time it wasn't another flying boat, but a conventional airplane. Here is a brand new four-seater with 2 Jabiru engines by Silver Wings Bureau. And it is a huge fun.
The shape of the new SK-04 by Silver Wings Design Bureau resembles its predecessor, the Cicada. The Cicada didn't become as popular as the company's Corvette seaplane, but 25 planes is a decent number for a small enterprise. Cicadas fly in Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan and even in Cuba, and are praised by their owners. So our first question was, what was added to Cicada to justify the name change? We seriously altered the internal design of the plane, the hull framework, first of all. We omitted the internal lateral spar that held the wing and thus freed up some space inside. That move allowed us to house 4 persons in the cabin comfortably. We also completely redesigned the controls, changed the tail boom, omitted the horn balancing compensation, enlarged the tail and installed a mass balancing rudder. The SK-04 also has electric flaps control and software landing gear. The cockpit became more spacious, so the front seats are as wide as in a decent-sized car. There is, of course, less space in the back, but passengers there have enough legroom too, and, unlike Cessna 172, their own doors. Do you remember Cicada M3? This one's better, flies better and is more stable on landing. Smaller flaps for extra stability. An excellent machine, I'm rooting for it with all my heart, really. It is reliable. I guess it can get on with one engine and no problems. Takeoff run was about 60 meters, very fast. Landing run, I didn't brake on landing, for it was too slippery, but it rolled on its own for about 250 meters, still complete stop. One of the first people to try the new plane was Alexander Gornov. Alexander is a Russian Air Force retired colonel and the founder of the Air Force Flight Club. He flew the Cicada for 2 years, both crop dusting and passenger versions. He was surely interested in trying SK-04 and the chief designer was eager to hear the feedback of an experienced pilot. After the takeoff, I set about 26-2700 RPM and had to climb steeper, so as not to exceed 160 km per hour. The speed grew like a flash. It cruised steadily at about 2000 RPM and 130 km per hour. According to the manufacturer, the SK-04 cruises at about 170 km per hour at 2-3 km altitude. Never exceed speed is 200 km per hour. Effective range is about 850 km with 4 passengers and 60 liters of fuel in each of 2 tanks. Continuous flight time with 2 pilots is about 5 hours. Considering the plane is fitted with economical Jabiru 2200 engines instead of conventional Rotax, these figures look realistic. I don't know why, but I feel the excess of power. You can climb at 10-15 degrees gradient. It is nicer functionally because of electric flaps, so you don't need to pull handles manually. The incidence is different. It is more stable on gliding path and doesn't break as abruptly as previous models. This SK-04 equipped empty weight is about 556 kilograms, and there is a room for losing some more weight if production facility gets some new equipment. With back seats removed and just one pilot, it can hold 300 kilograms of cargo for the same 850 kilometers. According to the flight manual, the maximum takeoff weight is 950 kilograms, but we were subtly told that it can be even 1000 kilos if a captain wishes so. Two Jabiru 2200 engines at 170 horsepower combined provide decent thrust. Here you fight the excessive speed. I have 42 types of aircraft under my belt, and I have to say that on all small planes you fight the lack of power, and here you fight the excess. In my opinion, this machine deserves even government's attention as a crop duster and local commuter. The SK-04 stall speed in cruising configuration is 85 km per hour. The landing speed is 80 km per hour. Climbing rate at the ground is almost 6 meters per second. The hull is composite, the wing and tail airfoil are metal. Jabiru engines can run on car petrol, and not only A95 Super, but A92 normal as well. The only disadvantage of this plane for colder places like Russia, Canada and Nordic countries is an easy start at the environment temperature lower than -20 centigrade. That is because of air cooling. Yet, almost everywhere except Siberia, Alaska and far north, such a frost occurs just several times throughout winter and almost never happens in Europe and populated areas of Americas. At the same time, air cooling is an advantage for hot conditions when ambient temperature exceeds +30 centigrade. When Rotax boils, Jabiru doesn't even sweat, an obvious feature for engines designed and made in hot Australia. I flew with Jabiru engines in hot weather. They don't tend to overheat at all. I asked the chief designer to install cooling gels here, and even on summer I had to keep them slightly shut to avoid overcooling. So no overheating here, period. Another SK-04's distinct feature is the short distance between the propellers, just 5 centimeters. That improves controllability because the engines are located closer to the hull central axis and provide a nice blowing of tail and rudder. Also, you don't need to struggle in case of one engine failure, although Jabiru engines are quite reliable and are not likely to fail. I do not consider Jabiru engines second class. In my opinion, they just lack publicity, at least in Russia. They can actually leave Rotax in dust. With Rotax, I experienced engine failures twice. They either froze, or the carburetor failed, or whatever else, but Jabiru are really nice. The basic SK-04 configuration costs about $110,000 plus taxes and duties in your country. If you aren't fine with an old Cessna Skyhawk, you have little choice if you want a 4-seater that can carry a certain load for a certain distance and isn't prone to engine overheating. The production time is 4 months. You can even buy the plane you have just seen on your screen, and until it is sold, you can test fly it near Samara in Russia. For additional information, please contact the manufacturer at www.silver-wings.su.
Thank you for watching FlightTV. Our contacts are on the screen. Like, share, subscribe and fly safely!